It's the end of the day on Friday. And I really wanted to do this anyway. Fun. I wonder what y'all are doing out there. Just finishing your workday on Friday? Have you already taken off? Will anybody show up today? I almost secretly hope not, because it's late in the day on Friday. And I'm on the West Coast, so it's like, if you're from the States anyway, it's like 7:30 at night on the East Coast. You're probably out for a beer and a burger, I would think. Yeah. How's this demo looking? I think this was very fun to learn about. And I kind of want to make a list inside here that helps think about it a little bit and why it's interesting. So perhaps I will start doing that. I will make a readme.txt. Sometimes I do it as Markdown. Is it nicer as Markdown? I don't know. It's like I don't need the Markdown block. I don't plan on previewing it is the thing. So who cares? All right. Somebody popped in. Hello. One of the things that I'm looking at here today is that earlier in the week we looked at the, what do you call this API? The like highlighting API? What's up, Sue? Thanks for joining. Yeah, we looked at this highlighting API thing, which I'd never really seen before, despite the fact that certainly CodePen itself uses it to some degree by way of libraries and stuff, although not entirely. Like, let's say you have a string of text and your goal is to colorize a piece of that string. Certainly a thing you can do is just wrap it in a span. And probably and that's exactly what's happening here, right? Const is yellow, ending range index is blue, and the way that CodeMirror 6, which we're dealing with here, is colorizes those things is by wrapping a span around those two things. That's the deal. I'm not even sure about the every internal, are you actually typing into that span, or is it an element on top of it that replicates the cursor? I don't even know. But that's not really what we're talking about. Plus, if you use, it is what we're talking about. I don't think Prism by itself is going to find it. Like Leah Verou's library for highlighting text that tons of people use because it's just light and fairly easy to use. Look at all this syntax highlighting, Guaranteed it spans. It's a bunch of spans and they're tokens and you can select them, and some stuff isn't in tabs, thus the parent CSS needs to style it and that kind of thing. Spans all the way down, of course. But it turns out you can select text within an element and colorize it without a span or without any element at all. See, in this paragraph, it's just lorem ipsum dollar, blah, 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 but dollar is in orange. How the heck is that possible? Well, it's through this API, which is now supported basically across all browsers because Firefox started supporting it relatively recently. So where we left off in this demo is that we are going to get the paragraph by selecting the paragraph, this here, and then we need the text node because the text content is the text content of the text node, although I think text content would have worked on this, but I think we need the paragraph later when we do range. So working backwards, though, the point is that we're going to make a new highlight, which is some JavaScript class object thing, and then use the global CSS in JavaScript to make a name out of a highlight, and the highlight is based on a range. It's all I remember just putting this simple demo together, it wasn't the most intuitive thing in the world to me, but you need a range, then you make a highlight out of that range, then you set a highlight there. That gives you the opportunity to make a name, and the name is important because the CSS API is this. So when we name the highlight, custom highlight, we have to put that name here, and then we get a chance to use CSS. So it's just this combination of JavaScript and CSS together doing it. I think that's really neat. But what I didn't do, that's why I made this readme.txt when we started here, is I want to write down what's good and bad about it? What could it be used for? What is our brain collectively doing, chat, with this ability now? Like, why is that good? Highlight API. So a thing about it is that it can colorize / style text without needing an element wrapper to do so. That seems good when you... Why is that good? Oh, is N streaming right now too? Have you ever been on a stream where at the end of the stream, or while you're watching it, like another streamer does like a raid on the other one? I think it's when they shut down their stream, they just send all their listeners to the other stream. That'd be cool to figure that out. We should raid ends when we're done. Both of us. But I'm just doing a little Friday thinking. This is for fun. Is this good because the DOM can be slow? Is not having to do DOM manipulation here a potential speed benefit? Like, maybe. The fact that Prism has to look at the code, do all its regexe crap or whatever it's going to do, and then manipulate the DOM with a bunch of spans. Is that span injection stuff slow? Would it be faster to not do that? Not having a bunch of spans in the DOM might be good for DOM weight issues as well. Consider the classic GitHub PR page. When you go to GitHub and you're looking at, 100 files changed, and it has all the code is syntax highlighted, but it also has red and green and all that stuff all over it. There's a lot of spans going on there. It just tends to be like a heavy HTML page. Would this be good for that? Because you don't even have the spans in there anymore. But I don't know if that's good for performance or not. But it is kind of interesting. And then a classic one to write down is like the comparison to browser search is interesting. So if I Command F, if I'm on CodePen's like the worst page to do it on, here I'm on a Stack Overflow thing because I was looking something up I wanted to do. Look at, there's the word averages. I can select it here. I can also hit Command F and then search for averages, and it's going to select that text. Now the browser has to do that somehow. And there's like a decent chance the way it's doing it is this range selection stuff. It probably dog foods its own kind of thing. It's probably applying that styling through the same type of technologies that now we have access to. It's just like now it's being exposed to authors, which is neat. So like that's a real classic. And where we left off is we didn't make our own search term machine, but we could have, and that'd be interesting. So maybe we should. So instead of hello world, we don't need that. We'll have like a search input. So input of type search. Is that appropriate in this case? I guess it would be if we went label, label tab. We don't need the for attribute because we'll just wrap the search and we'll just say search the text below and then move this up. Okay, so let's say that had a value of $. So instead of getting the search term hard-coded, we could say that the search term is, if we put an ID on this, search term would be like window.search term dot value. Yeah, okay, so now this input here is this, but if we want to wire it up so that if you change this, it executes the search term on this bit of text below. So I guess we would make that like a function then. So we'd say window.searchTerm is a reference to that input. So it would be like add event listener. What's the event in an input? Do we want to do it on type? Probably like on on input. Let's do a sanity check that we did that correctly. Console. Type. Nothing is being. It's not a function. Add event listener. No. Sanity check. Checked. Okay, and then we'll make, do search a function, and we'll do this work inside of that function. And we're dealing with the to-do right now. So instead of that, we'll say do search. But do search should take the search term, I suppose, rather than it being hard-coded up here. I don't mind that it executes once right there, but do search term should be, I don't know, what's in the event here. Console.log e. Is it like e.target.value or something? Right? Type. Yes. Oh no. That's very not ideal. When's the last time we saved, team? Shucks on a sandwich. Ooh, not too far ago. That's good. So we'll do search. We'll take the search term and it will be e.target.value. And this will be like search term. And then we won't use the constant. We'll use the one that we pass in. Come on, self. And do we use search term again? So let's not do that. We'll just call search term at the beginning with that value in it. Yeah. Yes. Do search. It's weird because I want this value and this value to be in sync. DOLOR. But I don't know how to, there's no obviously simple way to do that. Okay. But now if I type SIT in there, SIT, oh, it's going to highlight that. Lorem does not do lowercasing. I thought we accounted for that somehow last time we touched this. Didn't we? No, clearly we didn't. So index of, we should lowercase the search term and probably lowercase the text content. Where am I calculating the text content here? Can we just go, what is it in JavaScript? Just like 2 lowercase or something? JavaScript 2 lowercase? Yeah. Can I just call 2 lowercase on it? And then do it here too, 2 lowercase? Is that going to work? If we type lorem now, is it going to find it? Oh, God, that was too easy. Normally, everything I do breaks. Unde. Anime. Wow, we built a search machine. That's fun. But it probably doesn't do multiple matches. That's what I was thinking of earlier. I was like, oh, if we do search, I want to make sure that it can find multiple things. So let's make it a little more obvious. Like the pizza oven was very hot and it burned the pizza or something. Now pizza's in there twice is the point. So if we search for pizza, I want to match it both, but it's not gonna, because index of in JavaScript is only gonna select that first one for sure, right? So we need a more modern way to do that, which I haven't done in ages, if ever. So we look it up, and that's why this Stack Overflow is open, because there's clearly a match all function and regex stuff. So we could do that. That's not the right demo, although we could look at that later. All right. All right. Where did we leave off? First of all, that's not interesting anymore. Let's make it oven as the default. There is only one oven, so that will showcase just fine, but we want to change it so that if pizza was put in, it finds both of them. So we're going to look up the docs for match all, I guess. JavaScript match all. It's just part of the string prototype. That's fun. So if we have a string, we can call, do you have to call it? No, just, oh, I see. It's spreading into a new array. So match all returns an array. And so this will be a new array of the string that matches all the, okay. All right. That's fine. And so the regular expression here is what? What is all that? Why would test1 match? Oh, it's matching the letter T and then the E in a group, but it's optional, I guess. And then that's whatever. We don't need to learn regexes live, but our regex will be probably case insensitive, which I know is /GI. And then it'll be / whatever the search term is / right? And then once we get all of the matches, we need to loop over and make multiple ranges. That will be our job. Maybe we'll steal some of this. Okay, so in our do search, there's just a little bit more work to do and probably an abstraction of at least one more function, right? So here's the code we just stole. Our regular expression will be between the slashes, it'll just be whatever the search term is, right? How do you put a variable inside a regular expression? How do I not know that? JavaScript, put a variable in a regex. Because it's it just starts with the /. Oh, yes. Everybody's correct. Cool, but you still have to use the slashes, don't you? What happened to the / syntax? Do you just not need to use that? Oh, I guess you don't use the /. You just put the regex string in there and not slashes. I can't say I've ever used this. Which means that search term is just, there she blows. We need the $ to make it that. And then what's that? We want GI, and that's just comma separated at the end. So it's almost like we don't even need the I don't even need the $ syntax here, but I guess if we augment it, we will need to do that. Let me check this message quick. Okay. So then the string we test against, we already have that because the text content doesn't change. So that's fine. So then the array is the string that we already have, which is the text content, and we match all against the regex. And then we log array to see. Okay. It's a nested, so maybe we don't need the spreading. We don't really need the array format, whatever comes back from match all is all we really need. Ooh, then it's empty. Why? Match all regex. What does match all return? It says it returns an array, I guess. I'm still not getting the spreading thing, but I guess I don't know. It seemed to be working better when we were spreading, so maybe we need to spread it. It's just weirding me out that maybe I'll check the real browser console. It's an array, and the first thing in the array is another array. I don't get it. But if you don't spread it, you don't get the matches. I think I'm just a dummy. So if you kill the brackets and then log the array, you just get an empty object, which is not right, right? Is there actually secretly something in that array? Oh, we just dot them out, maybe? You can't just spread like that, I don't think. That's fine. We'll just reach in there. Gosh darn it. Not the end of the world. At least it matched it. But what it didn't do is return any, like oven is the search term. Like I don't need the search term back. What I need is the indexes. So it's like, sure, you found oven, but like, I don't need that back. What I need is indexes. You know, like I think this, reject that. No, that's not the right one. This one at the very top of it was like, I learned to play the ukulele in Lebanon. That's neat. And then you type LE in it and it finds it right there. Cool. So that's index 2, I guess. And then it finds it way later. And then it finds it later again. And then it finds it here. It finds 4 matches. And those are those. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. You just run a regex over it. And then you do a while loop, I guess, and you push it on there. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's how we'll do it then. But then I scrolled one down and it's like, oh, there's match all. We should do match all. Oh, here. You do this and then you map it over a.index. We should do this. I don't know what I was looking at, but that looks cleaner somehow. So what we want to do is that. Source string is the text content. Match all, new regular expression. The new regular expression is just the search term a index. So const indexes, I hope, is that. And then we'll log the indexes. Please be an array of indexes. Yes, it found 1 at number 10, which is right there. That's exactly what we want. Now if I type pizza, we get 2 matches. We have freaking done it, chat. That's very satisfying. Cool. So now indexes we need to loop over. So this is the point which we need to do a little thing. So indexes dot, can you just for each them? And it's a match. Isn't it as simple as that? Console.log match. And the match will be the indexes not defined. Indexes. It's going to loop over them. But if I type pizza, yeah, it logs them both out individually. So I'll just call it the match index instead of just match because it's a thing, right? So inside of the loop, the starting range is, we're not using index of anymore. We don't need that. And we don't need the ending either. Ooh, I'm going to comment them out just in case because it freaks me out because I'm so unfamiliar with all this. But we can make a range. And then the range is the starting index is match index. And the ending reject is match index plus the length of the search term, right? Search term.length. Cool. So now we've made the range and now we set the highlight. But the highlight only needs to get set once, I thought. Like there's the highlight. And as I don't want to, I think if we set, I don't think this is going to work. Pizza. It's going to select the last one, overriding the other one. Because I don't want to do set, I want to do add, right? Maybe it'll work now. No, because you have to do a set before you do an add. You know, you have to make sure that it exists and then you call add on it. So is that awkward? Make a range. We'll keep our nice comments. It's like our highlight should already exist at this point. So how chill is this? Ooh, I need to run for a moment. I wish I had a little I wish I had like a, I don't know. I'll click the applause button. I swear to God, I'll be back in 1 minute. Yes, my friend, the scientist, we need to set the first instance and use the add for the rest. So we could probably do it within the loop, tracking like, hey, is this the first time we've done it? Then do it. Or before we even do it, we could set up that range. Like it doesn't even need to be done every search, probably. Like the highlight could be done once, like out here. And it could be let because we'll redefine it. Maybe not. It's just const. But we need a search range to do it. So the first search range, we can just do this same work out here. But search range it's just like at 0, 0. And then we use the search range here to do it. So we'll put it after this work. And then CSS highlights add. Add is not a function. It is a function though, isn't it? Because our highlight doesn't exist yet. Right? Because we just did it here. No, it does exist. You should have access to our highlight in here. But we need the new range. We do need to remake a highlight quick. So we do need to put that here with this new range. Is that going to work? Hello, Anton. Thanks for joining. Just trying to get this little multi-search thing to do as a dumb little Friday task, and then we'll call it just a chill day. Although I'm not feeling very chill at the moment because cshighlights.add is not a function, even though we proved that worked before, isn't it? Custom highlight API.add. Maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong. css.highlights is what we're more interested in. Fine, css.highlights. There's a docs page just for it. That's cool. So you set it. Do you only ever set it? I swear there is a way to, we kind of proved that you can add multiple ranges. Oh, I see. You only set once. But when you make a new highlight, you can give it multiple ranges. How are we going to do that? We don't know how many ranges we have. Can you spread in here? Like, what if there's 3 pizzas? We don't know how many ranges we're going to have. So how do you know how to comma separate in here? It's not taking an array. Maybe it does take an array. It just doesn't say so. I guess we should just try it. So we need an array of ranges. So all this loop needs to do is make an array of ranges. So I'm just going to be very specific, I guess, where like const array of ranges is an empty array, and then you make a new range, and then array of ranges dot push search range. So when you're done, we'll have two of them, and then we need array of ranges to be outside of that, I guess. So the job of this is just to make this array of ranges happening. And then the new highlight is like, can you just spread the array of ranges? Or maybe you don't need to even spread it. You just pass in the array of ranges. And then you never call add, you call set. Highlight parameter 1 is not of type abstract range. Right, it's an array. So that's our problem, is we don't know how many freaking ranges we have. Can we spread there? It didn't die, did it? Oh, that worked. Why did it work? We just assumed it might work, and it did. That's the best. I kind of don't even understand what's happening right there, really. I didn't know you could just spread an array there and it would just turn into a comma separated list of stuff that a function will take. I guess I kind of knew that. It's kind of like spreading props or whatever. It just feels weird in native JavaScript for some reason. All right. Well, I feel pretty satisfied with that. So let's recap, I guess. We started with like some lorem ipsum text, and we just made a straight up range. Look, we used string.indexOf to find a piece of this string, and then we highlighted it. And the interesting part is that you get to like name your highlight. And that is happening here, which I think is so interesting. Yeah. Custom highlight. I almost feel like that should be not a magic term or something. Be like const name of highlight equals, I don't know, search results, I guess, and then we'll use it. And we're only using it once, but the point is to not like bury something so important down in the middle of some code, because it's pretty interesting. And then that's going to stop working because this name of highlight comes over to CSS as well. We need to use it there. And then this is going to start working again. And now if we type pizza, which appears twice, we're going to get two ranges. It's very satisfying to have as you type too. That's nice. So every time you type into this thing, we get a new search term. We regex for that search term, which we don't even need that, right? We could simplify that. Is that still going to work? Yeah. We regex for it, which gives us this array of indexes. Then we need to turn the array of indexes into an array of ranges, and then make a new individual range class out of each one of those indexes, push it onto a new array that we just made, and then we know that we can call the highlight class with each one of those ranges separately, and then set our highlight so that our highlight can have multiple ranges inside of it. And so if you're just joining us, this highlight of the word pizza appears nowhere in the DOM. There's no span around it or anything. It is just simply turned orange via this little chill string of CSS. So pretty cool. And we started this with a list of things. Like, that's kind of cool that you can colorize things or otherwise style them. I wonder what the limitations for styling are. Can you go like font, weight, bold? Or is there limits to what it can do? Yeah, there's limits. It can't cause reflow, I assuming. So that's not going to work. I don't know if that's interesting or not, but it is to me a little bit. and that we're thinking on like pages that might have DOM weight issues, that's pretty cool to offer because there's just like, I don't know, potentially 0 spans instead of thousands. That's probably a big deal. And that you don't have to call DOM APIs to wrap text in spans and stuff that may not already be wrapped in spans. And that's interesting. And the last stream we looked at, that's how this syntax highlighting plugin works. And it's pretty cool. What's like a potential downside is like is, you know, cannot be done server side. Like this is a totally client side JavaScript only phenomenon. So that's that. It's 5:03.